Hi everyone, it's great to be back, and in this video I really want to talk about the energy for this year 2019 and what is in store for us all energetically. This year, the numerology for the year, because every year has a world number or a universal number, so this year it's a 3, so I'll be talking all about that. But in my introduction I'm going to talk about the last few years just briefly. In 2016 it was numerologically a 9 year, and we worked that out by adding up the digits of the year. So 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6 adds up to 9. Okay. 9 is very much about endings and conclusions, and there's very much a feeling of close of a cycle, like a whole big cycle at that time. If you recall back to 2016, there were a lot of deaths, okay? Deaths of a lot of people, including celebrities. So what pops out is David Bowie, Prince, George Michael. I mean, that's 3 big names, isn't it? There were other ones as well. Gene Wilder is another one. Carrie Fisher as well, of Star Wars fame. It really was the end of an old cycle. And so many of us went through this massive period of difficulty. It was so intense and challenging. Drama and karma. So if you look back to that year, you'll see how that sprouted in your life in an unwanted way and an unhealthy way. Okay, a lot of cleansing on earth and in our personal lives, and us as a collective. Now 2017, that was a couple of years ago now, was a 1 year, because after that cycle of 9 we start again, because it just keeps going round and round in a cycle, like many things in life. A 1 year is about a new energy, a rebirthing, the start of something new, not just for that year, but also that whole cycle of 9 years to come. So almost a decade, right? So in that year though, it felt like you couldn't quite get ahead still, or a head start. Again, there was some difficulties in the energies going on in the world, negative events and so on, and we still had the after effects of that purge energy and that releasing from the year before. In 2018, we then had, so the numbers then add up to 11, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8, and 11 is a master number, and then you can further 11 by adding 1 plus 1 is 2, so we call that an 11/2 year. That master energy was really illuminating things. So we had a lot going on with the Weinstein and all of that. A lot of truth, illumination and revelation out there in the world. Okay, it was also hard and intense. Now, why is that? Because 2 is quite intuitive and sensitive, and it can be dramatic when it's intensified as a master number, which the 11 is. The 11 is like 2 ones opposing each other, 2 polar opposites, which can bring up tension. So if you're in that war of opposites, then there's a clash, okay? And also that shadow side coming up to the surface, because we cannot see something until until it's been eclipsed, or until the light comes and shines on the darkness, okay? So that's the illumination, and that's where the eclipses that year really played a role as well. And the supermoon energy was so extra intense as well. So the Master 11 intensity really forced you to look into yourself and into that suppressed inner voice within you. And that is a key, because that suppressed inner voice is a major theme for this year, especially in the first few months, which we've been going through. So it attracted a sense of conflict, because you're going against the grain, or you're not able to express those deepest parts of yourself, and that darker side of you was coming up to the surface, right? So with that 11, 2 ones together, it's like a doubling of everything, a doubling of effect and intensity. So double intensity, double emotions, everything being blown out of proportion. So in that full moon, the super moon, and all those periods, whoa, it was huge, okay? So with that comes aggression, anxiety, fear, worry, stress, hard time to cope. And then we have the brighter side, which is the illuminating number 11, such as those of you seeing the numbers 1111. Is that illumination and that divine energy. I'm going to be making another video all about 1111. I've come to understand my own personal truths about it and receive some guidance about it and some revelations, really. I feel that there's more to it, which really sprouted in my consciousness. So I can't wait to express that to you. So the shadow sides came up to the light to be seen, reviewed, noticed, exposed. So that truth exposure was so huge. A major spotlight on people, on individuals like Weinstein, like Bill Cosby, I think was another one. Solo figures, right? Trump and so on. But also on your relationships and where you fit in the world. You really began to have this grand realization that there's just some stuff that you can't hold on to anymore. Old patterns, old ways, people that just toxicness, old ways of doing things, perhaps your job or thoughts about life, memories, the past and so on, old situations, anything holding you back. It really illuminated itself, but also weighed you down, especially if you felt like you couldn't process it or get something done about it or move forward from it to free yourself. This year is more about freeing yourself so that you can rebirth. So those old situations masked your true self, who you really are, how you present yourself to the world, how you're seen, how you're perceived, how you express yourself to the world. Major themes for 2019 in the 3-year. Because now in this 3 energy, it's all about you unmasking yourself. By the end of 2018, you should have hopefully mastered your lessons, because there were a lot of lessons. If not, then it's going to roll over right to the beginning of the next year. So you really want to work on that. It was all about illumination and self-mastery for a lot of people that really came together in the last few months of the year. And then we transitioned into this new energy. A lot of processing is what it feels like, okay? So 2018 was a slow moving year, not as fast as some of us were really hoping for to get things moving along. So when the pace is slower, we can feel a bit more bogged down. It also depends on what your personal year is. So I do numerology reports where I look at your personal year. So we have both the universal energy as well as your own cycle. So you could be any number right now between 1 and 9. If you'd like to get a report for 2019, the link's below. So just closing off about 2018 now, there was a doubling of that sense of self-identity, self-awareness on the road, or that journey to self-mastery. No one's going to be the super uber master, so don't worry about that. When we talk about mastery, I just like to think of it as I really mastered that lesson, I really got it, or I moved up a notch, okay? Became a bit more wiser, more experienced. It's, you know, endurance, growth, evolution. And really sort of, especially when it comes to self-awareness and consciousness, okay? So there was a period of making adjustments, and it was a preparation year very much, okay, for now in 2019 when we have a rebirth. If you follow the numbers along, you have in 2016, so 2017 the 1 year, 2018 the 2 year, and then 3. 1, 2, 3, right, in order. 1 is about yourself as the individual, you alone as a personal expression of truth. If you put it together, the 2 ones for 2018, or the 2, we have the 2 together illuminated. So now that's not only that sense of intuition, inspiration and illumination, but also there's you and another person, so relationships, okay? And then in the 3 year, now we have a crowd. You as the individual, another person, or one-on-one, and then we have 3, the next number, and this is you in relation to the whole world, or the crowd, right? It could represent as a figure, a group. So 3 is about how you, the microcosm of 1, the individual, fit into that macrocosm of 3, okay, the collective. And so 3 is the Trinity, that connection between you, Earth, and the divine, or you could look at it any way you want. You, your lower self on Earth, your higher self, your soul, and God, or the divine, or spirit. bridging those three. It's a very holy number, so we can think of it as that triangle with the point facing up, okay? And you want to be grounded to earth this year. Really important, because 3 can bring in a lot of scattered energy, a lot of kind of like I'm here, I'm there, and then I'm nowhere. So you really want to bring in that focus when you need it. You might have that tendency to be working on too many projects at once, or that you're not really focused because you're not present because you're all over the place. So that's one of my word of warning. So another aspect of the number 3 is that there's a planet associated with the number. So there's a planet associated with each number, and the planet that is associated with 3 is Jupiter. And Jupiter is the biggest planet. So this is a year, my interpretation now, my intuitive interpretation, this is for you to be a bigger planet. Not that little tiny shrunk up planet, that little one hiding, or I know Pluto's not officially a planet anymore, and don't ask me why, because I had grade 3 students tell me that like about 5 years ago, and I had no idea, and I was teaching a lesson on planets and I was like, and Pluto is the last planet. So you know, possibly you've been hiding, or you've shrunk yourself up really small. Jupiter, what I'm feeling, the message in that is expanding yourself to be a bigger planet, okay? Bigger, brighter, have more bounty, okay? So Jupiter also can represent divine grace, your inner teacher, growth, abundance, and that good side of you, the positive side. It can represent a delightful expression of your full self coming to the core, and that's a lot of what this 3 year is about. Every year, whatever the universal year number is, if it happens to be the same number as your life path number or your personal year, so if 3 is your life path number or your personal year, or perhaps another 3s in your chart somewhere, then take an extra look at how this year is affecting you, because it's like it will be double for you, okay? Which can be a really great thing. It's double the learning, double the energy, and it's just, you're going to feel it extra, right? So it's extra emphasis on the 3 energy for you personally. So take note of how it affects you. The 3 energy for you personally. So take note of how it affects you. So we've been in this integration period between the end of 2018, the first few months of 2019, as this energy settles. I feel that during March, especially around the time or after the equinox, there'll be a bit of a clearing and a shift will occur, and also by the end of the year, it really is true that in the last few months you really start to make sense of things. So if you're not quite getting it, if you're not quite there, watch out for September, or more like probably October, November, December. It's like all that energy forms a culmination point and you really get the lessons, or it begins to make a lot more sense and comes together more. And then you have the introduction of the next year's energy after that. What I'm feeling is that if you have not integrated the energy, if you're still going through issues, and particularly by the end of the year, watch out in December, because there'll be another eclipse period then, so things will be more heightened and intense again. So if you've not sorted out your stuff, it could be chaotic for you. December's always chaotic anyway with the whole Christmas build up, right? So just pay attention during that time. It's a busy period, but there will be a lot of illumination and change, and you could feel a bit restricted around that time, okay? So watch out for that around December, moving into the new year. Now this year will be a faster pace compared to last year, which is great. There could be sudden changes and movement. It's a great time to make a change in your life. And really, I really encourage everyone to come out of your shell this year. That's where the energy is heading. The energy should really pick up this year so that you can get projects moving. So really pay attention to what you feel inspired about, and really bring out your creativity and your expression, because it's a great year for creatives or anyone just wanting to step out and do something, and to present yourself to the world or other people in a new way, in a refreshed way, or just get out there and socialize more, where you might have been a bit more reclusive before. It is important that you take affirmative action. There are seeds sprouting and emerging and coming up, and it's definitely there'll be periods of major downloads. I just call them like spiritual download, where we receive this information. So those of us that are a bit more open or psychically aware or sensitive, we can feel this communication with spirit, or when something's coming through. And for some of us, we're not aware of it, but it's kind of happening anyway. So we'll get these divine moments of inspiration and knowledge. Sometimes we don't know it directly. It will be processing in our subconscious mind, and we'll see it expressed in other ways or through our dream state. Get more in touch with the universal energy. Have a brighter understanding, a deeper understanding about energy and how you can brighten yourself and uplift your energy and enter that space. I'll be talking about that in a summit this year too, which I'm excited about. And hopefully in other videos as well. Watch out for ear ringing, like those high pitched frequency sounds, because that, when I say watch out, I don't mean like a warning in this case. I mean like just keep an eye on it. So pay attention to any sort of sounds or any frequencies happening, and your clear audience, your ear chakra is really opening up as well. And open yourself to prayers and to receiving and communication, because remember, it's a three-way street between you, your higher self, and spirit, or you, earth, and spirit. Okay, and you're the bridge in the middle. So really, speaking of that bridge in the middle, it's a perfect year to open up that heart chakra and that energy of your heart, so that you can tune more into your intuition, as well as your the divine and your higher self. Okay, and come into full awareness and connect with that higher energy to allow and bring in that energy. And later in this video, I'll open that up for you. We'll do an affirmation and bring in and welcome in that energy. It's a great year also to make a vision board, where you can put pieces of what you want to draw to you, things that really fill you with joy and inspire you. And I'll be talking about that more down the track as well. Okay, it's definitely a year to lighten up, brighten up, and bring joy and harmony into your life. Have more fun, let your hair down, have a laugh, and just get more joy out of life, because a lot of us have just become really serious or got dragged down and so on, and we really know what the darker side feels like when we get dragged down. Now's the time to open up to the light and to lighten up our spirits, literally. Also, it's a perfect time to declutter. So some of you will have already been feeling that in the beginning of the year. Really perfect timing. And it's by no mistake, I feel, that Marie Kondo on Netflix with her show Tidying Up, I think it's called, she talks about really like organizing your home and mindfully, in a spiritual way, releasing items that you no longer need, thanking them and releasing them. And I'm going to also be talking about that separately as well. And I find that really exciting, and I've been Marie Kondoing my house, and it's great and I love it. I feel that her show has come out for a reason. Marie's energy, her vibrancy, her joy, shine, and her spiritual methods that the world has embraced through mainstream is awesome, and by no mistake, and it very much represents the three energy of this year. This is your time to lighten up and shine, okay? Shining your light, coming out in whatever way that means for you, elevating yourself, uplifting yourself, showing more of yourself to others, allowing your true self to emerge, as well as tuning into your divine life purpose. Call on spirit also to assist you and help elevate you. We'll do something, as I said before, at the end for that. And if you feel like changing your appearance, how you look, your hairstyle, clothes, or decor, I'm feeling that for some people. They're like shifting things around in your room, buying things, moderning up your home, and just making it feel great and lighter, then I really encourage that as well. This year is also about a higher vibration and tapping into that. So learn how to do things to lift up your vibration. Learn how to raise your energy levels and your frequency, because that is a key for enduring this year and for maximizing the energy that's there for us. But of course, with the light comes darkness too. Nothing is perfect. So there are a lot of positive attributes of this year and the number 3, but there's also the other side too. So I will speak about the challenges as well. But when you're in a higher vibration, it really helps lift you up when you're down, and you can learn techniques to do that. And it helps you during the more intense periods where you get brought down, such as during the supermoons or eclipse periods and so on, or just when we're thrown down by any random thing. So I suggest also working with Archangel Uriel to really open up your light and to illuminate yourself and illuminate things. So when there's times where you can't quite get a grasp of your reality or you need some clarity, you can ask Uriel to assist you and shine a light on things so that they can shine and that truth is revealed and like the light bulb is on for you to see and to clear your path and light your path, because I feel your path is being lighted and you're entering a new journey with it, and you've got the angels there and your guides supporting you along the way. So all those times that you've been feeling alone, and you might still go through periods of feeling alone, but know that there are guardians and guides there, spiritual team there to help and assist us. Just have to communicate with them. And speaking of communication, communication is a massive theme for this year. It's really important for us to communicate our truth, firstly to ourselves. So let that sink in for a moment. Communicate with yourself also includes at first acknowledging things and seeing what's deep down and hidden and allowing your true self to emerge. Allowing parts of you that or issues that you maybe have squashed down. Okay, so a lot of us have been in the beginning of the year, or we've been experiencing this feeling of entrapment, of fear between the throat chakra and the chest area, feeling constricted or blocked. Okay, and I worked on that in a Facebook Live just to clear that away, and the link to that is under the video. But with that, it came for a reason. It's because this bright light is emerging and wanting us to shine this year. This 3 is like wake up. So many more people are waking up this year. Another year of awakening, grand awakening. And I love how this new term has kind of arisen, woke. Like people, it kind of sounds like a rap word, but there'll be people saying I'm woke, and it's really funny. But you know, whatever it takes. So if people have to like be like, yo, I'm woke. It's like lights turning on all around the world. I'm literally, the angels are showing me a picture of lights turning on. So just like when you're in an airplane and you're flying over in the pitch black of the night, and then you see these beautiful lights turn on. And that's people's consciousness. And we want to access that higher part of ourselves through switching on our lights, through activating, raising our vibration, turning on our consciousness, being aware. And part of this is expressing yourself. So expressing your truth and not sort of moving on from an old part of you where you maybe felt a bit stifled or shy or couldn't quite express yourself with other people, or holding back, holding things in, or wanting to avoid conflict, or not feeling like you can speak up, speak your truth, or show your true self. Now's the time to sort of to let that go and to allow yourself to birth. Feel the fear and do it anyway is the mantra you should be using. It really works. Obviously, you know, be careful at the same time and don't make, you know, like don't take risks that maybe you shouldn't, but really encouraging to come out and be more open with yourself. Also, you might be interested in more self-development courses, learning, definitely more social time to connect with other people. You might also feel like you want to get out there more, like on a social platform or on a platform of some kind. So to birth or launch a business or a project, everyone's different. So whatever it is for you, in your own way, but really like that life path of yours, your sense of life purpose opening up. If you've been questioning it, now's the time to throw it out there to the angels and your guides and ask for assistance so that they can turn that key and open that doorway for you to make a change and to step forward and take a leap of faith as well. So work out what it is that you're really truly wanting to express yourself personally and then to the world. Anything like writing, painting, any creative task is perfect. Therapy, all those kinds of things. Just tap into your own sense of creativity, and it might be something that you already are talented at and do, or something you haven't done for a while and you've left it, or a new creativity. It could be anything from making a vision board to cooking some cookies to launching a website, or something even bigger. So go for it. Really the theme is go for it as well. Watch how your throat feels this year when we do talk about communication and expression, as I've mentioned before, and that I talked about in my Facebook Live, because that will really be rising above, because when we fear things, when we hold things in, then that will affect this area, the throat, and often the chest too. I find it really is a year of expansion and growth, positive personal development, spiritual growth, and expanding your energy, which matches what I was saying before about lifting your vibration. You really want to expand yourself like Jupiter, bigger and brighter, right? So expand yourself, expand your energy field, expand your business, expand your network, expand your social side, expand your ideas or ways of looking at the world, expand where you go for travel and so on. New ideas, plans, strategies, all coming together and just renewing your sense of self and a sense of expansion. So working from the heart outwards also, and expressing yourself from the heart. You're connecting with your soul's urge and desires, your innermost self, your divine higher calling as well, reconnecting with your higher self, and bridging the lower self through the heart as the center. The middle chakra of your main 7 chakras is the heart. That's where you want to bridge everything, and also sharing from a heart level. So that could mean sharing with other people, communicating, talking, being a good listener or sharer. Might be writing blogs. That's definitely one that I'm feeling. Writing more, expressing yourself, whatever it is. So spreading yourself outwards more, and also coming out of your shell. There'll definitely be more truth revelation, as there was in 2018. And with that, really pay attention to that in your own personal life with others and yourself first, always, as I've said, and then the outside world. And challenges. Do expect challenges as well. Nothing is ever perfect. So everything that I've mentioned that is positive, such as self-expression, can be challenged, such as holding things in, not expressing yourself, not communicating. The opposite of creativity is feeling stuck, feeling blocked. Again, not being able to express yourself in creative ways, not being able to do projects, or looking at a blank canvas and not having the inspiration, right? The opposite of expansion is constriction, closing in your energy field, restricting your body, restricting yourself, feeling restrictions, okay? And blocks, self-doubt, fear. So instead of moving forward, taking the plunge, feeling the fear and doing it anyway, being absolutely trapped, imprisoned, frozen in fear. I experienced an element of that at the beginning of this year. Okay, so I understand what that's like. Also, because it's a lot about coming out, being yourself, sharing your energy with the world and your true self, that brings up a lot of fears for people, and insecurity. So do watch out for insecurity, self-doubt, and also not speaking up or showing your true feelings and being shut down, feeling shut down or worried about how other people perceive you, rather than just focusing on yourself. So worried about other people's opinions or reactions, not wanting to rock the boat, and maybe that boat does need to be rocked and changes do need to be made. So that's where we can just hold things in, and we know deep down that there's something we need to face or do, or a hurdle to overcome, or issue to bring up, or whatever it is, and we just can't. We feel, oh, okay. So really acknowledge that part of yourself, and be gentle on yourself, and process it, and be willing to rise above and move beyond, and to not seek acceptance from other people, but to accept yourself already as you are, and allow yourself to rebirth without worrying about other people's opinions, expectations, thoughts, and so on. I feel that this is a great year to open up your world view, travel, see different places, have more adventures, go out and have a bit more fun, and spend time with your friends, or new social circles or networks, or like spiritual groups, whatever it is, and sort of just really enjoying that and being nourished by that. but also needing boundaries. So not being willing to take on other people's energy or things that you accepted before. So when I talked about 2018, what was coming up is that feeling of realizing what you really don't want in your life anymore, and old patterns or certain people or situations. Now's the time, set up those boundaries, and because you've really come a long way, and if you really go that next step, it's amazing how you can change, and you might even be surprised how you can actually form those boundaries and stick to them more. The other thing to be mindful of this year is, again, that I said before about being scattered. So always come back to yourself, be grounded, be present, because it's easy just to be scattered and all over the place and then not really get anything done in the end, or just flip from one thing or to the other and not be centered. Okay, so being present is important. Watch for little accidents, things like that, because sometimes when we're a little bit all over the place, that's when we might take an uncalculated risk or accidentally, be a little bit accident prone or something like that. Okay, so pay attention and focus as well. So that will be the challenge for this year. Now let's bring in the energy and welcome it for the year. So I'm just going to light a candle. So let's do that now. Okay. And now let's welcome in this 2019 energy, the 3 energy, and any other positive energy that wants to emerge. Just open yourself up to receive and to visualize yourself as bigger, brighter, lighter. And let's affirm, I align myself with the highest of 2019 energies and the vibration of 3. I open myself up to receive, for my energetic vibration to raise and expand, for my self-awareness to expand. I allow myself to come out of my shell, to emerge and reach a higher level. I open myself up to expansion and to higher energies here for me now and always. I welcome in the energy of the angels who are here for us right now, lifting up our energy, sending us beautiful frequencies of light. We welcome in a new energy, freeing us to be more true, expressive, and like our true, authentic selves. Breathe in the beautiful high frequency energy and the frequency of 3 and allow it to cascade all around you and within you. Be showered in a rain of beautiful healing vibrations from the angels and the number 3, and breathe out anything you want to release. Okay, opening yourself up and allowing that energy in. So for anyone that is interested in a numerology reading, the link's below this video, as well as to my newsletter. May God bless you in every way.